Hello there and welcome to the studio. So today I'll just be sharing my first observation the moment I launched the MPC 3 firmware update after I installed it. The first thing that caught my attention, and then some of the things that I think are very cool. Okay, first off, I will start with the look and feel. The entire look and feel seems interesting and impressive. I love it. I love what they've done there, and I think it's actually cool. Being able to now more stylishly refine the whole look and feel. We're talking about your toolbars that you now have, which is basically what you had before, but then with a twist now. This now has like a drop down that can allow you to basically just do like a quick jump into some of these features that you have here, which was not actually there before. I think the last the 2.15 has the slide out screen somewhere around here, but now it has like its own drop down from top down, which you can basically use to jump to whatever features you have here. And then after your toolbar, we have your shortcuts, which is here. And the good thing about the shortcuts is the fact that you can actually modify the content of that shortcut. So it's not an in-state shortcut that you cannot edit. You can basically go to your menu and then drag those icons from whichever one you want to be using more often. Then you have your mixer strip, and one good thing about your mixer strip is the fact that it's got a lot of features right now, talking about shortcuts that you can actually use to access your FX send and the input and output right away, right out of the box. So instead of you to take some 2-3 steps to get there, you can get there right out of the box from your mixer strip. And I think I love that feature. And then you have your sequence here, and then your arrange and your track view. That's the arrangement and your track view. So basically from here you can arrange, and then this is your track view. But then, like I said earlier, the first thing that caught my eyes, mainly I fired it up personally, was the layers. I noticed that now, maybe I saw the layer, I was like, oh, so layer, I can access that from here directly. Okay, fine. So how many layers do I have right now? And by the time I double tap, I realized I have 8, as opposed to the previous version, which actually gives you just 4. So you have on 2.15 4 layers, but now you have 8 layers to work with, which means you can actually now have 8 samples on each of your parts. And that to me is amazing. Although for me personally, I'm not sure if I've actually been able to exhaust the 4 samples given to me per time, but for them to put the 8, it means probably someone out there might have probably just talked about it and requested for more based on reviews and feedbacks that they are getting from their users. So I think that's a nice one, right? So for me, that's just basically what it is. We're going to be making beats, but not now, not today. I just want to showcase to you, my first impression. I love it. Actually, I pretty much, love everything about what I have here. Here, the fact that you can even, move things around. You can edit things, like it's not casting stone, like I said earlier. When you have your shortcut here, you can easily drag and drop. If I want, let's say I don't want my XY effect to be here, I can drag it and put it here, right? Then if I want maybe to have my sample there, if I'm the type that use sample a lot, and then I can basically just click on sampler and then drag the sampler there. So you can actually modify, you can play around with what you have here, and then you get back to your work. And as you can see, the moment I did that, I think I have something that I already left here, which means this also, you can actually play around with it, right? Let's go back here. That should be the preference. I can actually also click on it and drag it and bring it back here. So it's fun that you can actually play around with some of the things that are here. But then just remember that if you modify anything here, you need to be careful how you move things around here, because if you have already mastered some of these shortcuts by hitting menu and then tapping the pad, if you change anything here, it might actually disrupt it. So just so you know, the corresponding position of what you have here is also equal to what you have here. So if you move anything around, it might impact your memory of what you have here before, like your knowledge rather of what you already have saved here. Now what that simply means is, if I come back to, let's say I want to access SYFX, which is supposed to be on part 6, right? Then if I come back to main and I hit menu and 6, this is it, right? But if I come to menu and I move some things around, and now my SYFX is on part 7, I need to do that. I need to also go back to my knowledge memory that I've already been using for years to be sure that, oh yes, now is on part 7. Do you understand? So that's just what I'm saying. Yeah, what I mean is if you already have your muscle memory in such a way that some of these things you've already pre-programmed them the way you're using them in 2.15, it is advisable that you leave it that way in this 3.0 so that you can continue working seamlessly, all right, and not mix things up. So that's just what it is. And that's my first impression. We're going to get to making beats and you understand the full workflow of how everything works in MPC 3.0. Don't worry, just stick with us. If you're new, can subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a good time together. And in the midst of that, you'll get tips and tricks. You'll get workflows that basically will change, the pattern of work and make work a lot easier for you. That's what we're about here in Bitbender Studio. And that'll be all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section. We'll see you in the next one.